Brought to you by Sheehan's Rustproofing. The Chiefs have just come out on the ice for a warm-up period. They're about to try for their 5th consecutive win. They're getting a good round of applause from their own booster club, who have traveled all the way from Charlestown to be here in Peterborough tonight.
Are you a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues radio listener? Of course you are. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call real estate superstar Mike Burgoyne today at 314-753-4060 or email him at mike@strikewithmike.com to earn special rates today.
Cut out the coffee, cut out those energy drinks that make you crash, and put yourself in a position to succeed with an energy boost from RockinThatIDLife.com. You'll be energized, focused, and you'll even experience an elevated mood for up to 6 hours. Check out RockinThatIDLife.com to learn more.
A team that was in last place on January 3rd. The players on the bench are bouncing up. History will be made tonight in Boston.
You're watching Let's Go Blues Radio, the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast with your hosts Kurt Price, Bill Day, and what appears to be a Peter Dinklage cosplay. So just sit back, grab a beer, and enjoy the best blues hockey talk on YouTube.
Welcome to episode 16 of season 14. This is episode number 497, all time, of the often imitated, never duplicated. Why, that's a terrible thing. I don't know how many times I've told those boys never call chicks broads. We're the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Let's Go Blues Radio. To interact with the show on social media, our handle on all the socials is at LGB Radio. I am Kurt Price. I'm a co-host for the big show as I drop my pen on the floor. Tonight is Bill Day and Jeff Ponder. The agenda for tonight's show includes discussion about Otto Stenberg is coming to the U.S. and the Blues split 2 games versus the Ducks and the Blue Jackets, and then the Blues get a massive win versus the Flames. All that and more on this latest edition live episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. Fellas, it is like we talked about, Kadri is still a douche. Thank you, Matt. Yes, he is still a douche. Always will be a douche. Never will not be a douche.
Yep, agree.
But Jeff mentioned before the show that we this is the first time in 4 shows or so that we've been in the same, on the same show.
Yeah, the last time we all did a show together was when we all were at Kurt's for the Christmas Spectacular.
The Christmas Spectacular.
How often have you guys worn your hats?
Every time I went out to hit the driveway with the snowblower, popped that bad boy on, and it kept me nice and warm.
I have not worn it outside. I wore it down here a couple times in the basement of my office when it got cold. I was has a hat over here. I'm wearing it. It did the job. Did the trick.
And I've been using the nice blanket that we got as well.
Yes, the wife loves that, as well as the cats.
Yeah.
Did you tap your mic? Because I didn't hear anything. I think this is what we do on the. This is what you do with live show, folks.
Well, you shouldn't.
Yeah, we should have done this before the show.
That's on our.
Instead, we were talking about all the changes in our platform.
We did not do a damn bit. We didn't even go through a checklist or anything before the show started.
We just went. Bill, give us a little check 1, 2.
No, I refuse.
Sounds so much better. There it is.
I refuse.
All right. Glad we fixed that now.
Right.
Hey, and by the way, for those of you who are tuned in on Instagram, you know what? I'm going to try having it up since we found out that we do not see comments or who joins or anything on Instagram. I have it up right now. So if you want to comment, I can't show it on the screen like I'd like to, but I can at least read them. So we'll see how this goes tonight. If I can, it seems like my internet's acting okay. So
I'm betting that as vain as our audience is, they want to be on screen. They want to be seen.
You want me on screen. You need me on screen.
That's right. They show up and they want their stuff on screen. I don't blame them.
Yep.
Broadcasting to the world. We got some announcements. Jeff is chugging along with the LGB Minute podcast.
Yes, it's growing literally every day. I looked at the metrics today, and I think my first show, it was the week of Thanksgiving, I believe. So every single week we have gone up in listenership. So thank you to all those of you who have been tuning in. I said when I started it, I was afraid I was going to get tired of it. I'm not tired of it. I'm actually really enjoying doing it every morning. I don't do it the same day we release a podcast, so you can't expect one tomorrow, but maybe Friday. Typically, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday have been definite days I've been doing it, but I don't want to say that and then not release a show on one of those days.
If you do get tired of it, you can always just stop doing it, just like every other single blues fan podcast out there.
Yeah, it was funny. I was looking at it, and I'm at 25 episodes now, and I thought, man, I'm definitely on the first podcast ranking in terms of episodes for Blues Podcast, and I'm probably already in like the top 5 or 6 for another podcast that I'm doing a number of episodes for Blues Podcasts.
Yeah, this is number 16. So on this show.
No, I'm saying we're almost at 500 is what I'm talking about.
No, I mean, right. I know. But the season, we're at number 16 on this show.
Yeah.
So you've done more 25. I mean, granted your show's 4, 5, 6 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little different.
Yeah. Saying in terms of other blues podcasts, 25 episodes is rare.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm on 2 that have made it that far.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, especially when a lot of shows might do a show like every other week or something.
Yeah.
And then 25 episodes every other week, that's a couple seasons. And that's not too frequent for people to last that long. So
it used to, I think, we used to have some fairly stiff competition with Beyond Checkerdome and Two Guys One Cup, but yeah, everybody's fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, I forgot about Beyond Checkerdome. It's been a few years since they've done anything.
Yeah.
Were they still doing stuff when the Blues in 19?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because that may have been right when they left the air that season.
Yeah,
because they tried a Patreon for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did, but they were part of the game time thing, and that crumbled during the pandemic, right? They couldn't survive the pandemic.
Yeah,
which I don't blame them one bit.
That's a lot of work.
That was tough.
Man. That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
a lot of work for that.
Let me see here. It looks like. Oh wow, yeah, their podcast page on Apple Podcasts is even gone, so can't even look up when their last show was.
The podcast.
But anyway,
that's weird. Usually, I guess. Oh,
maybe at least the link on their Twitter page does not work. It's broken. Okay. So, right. Let's see. We got a couple comments here. Matt MLO12, you're so vain. You probably think this podcast is about you. I think we need a little rendition of that by Bill. Maybe a little remix. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
release your first studio album.
not happening.
And then we got Matt Harris. Can't wait to see LGB Radio broadcast live from Red Note. What's Red Note?
What's Red Note?
Should I know what that is?
I was waiting for you to tell. I thought you were pulling up because you knew what Red Note was.
When I first read it in the corner of my eye, I thought it said Red Rocks, and I was like, that'd be hilarious, haha. Yeah. But I'm like, oh, this is not Red Rocks. What the fuck? Please explain. We're old. What is Red Note?
Do a post game show in Colorado after a Blues Avalanche game.
That'd be hella fun. Ken Morris asks, Jeff, do you post your podcast schedule? No, and a part of that, and this is for Let's Go Blues Minute, part of that is because sometimes it's literally morning of when I decide to do it. It depends on my workload in the morning. Sometimes it's the night before I decide if I'm going to do it, so I really don't have like a schedule per se. I post on social media when a new one is available. I've been posting on my Twitter, let's see, the LGB Radio threads, and then on my Blue Sky. But I don't know if you're on social media like that, Mr. Morris. Let me know what the best way is I can update you, and I will gladly make that work. Yeah, I've been trying to toy with that, guys. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. Whenever I post a Let's Go Blues Minute, it's like, I don't want to do the whole show posting like we do with this one. It's just kind of like, hey, there's a new one up if you want it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the best way to do that. I've just been posting on social media.
I would do that, but yeah, you need to share the link though, because I've seen it come before, and I go, I have to click on the link and go right to it, as opposed to okay, I'll go to the podcast app and listen to it that way.
Yeah, I guess I need to do that. I'll start doing that. I'll start posting. I don't know, what link should I use? I guess just all of them.
No, Linktree maybe.
iTunes,
Linktree.
Oh, I do have. I should do a Let's Go Blues Minute Linktree,
or whatever, or just one of them. The most most whatever. Doesn't matter as long as it's one of them. Whichever one you want to draw people to.
Right. You got to figure more than half the world's using Apple devices, so that if you had to pick one, go with Apple. That. But for those of us that like more robust technology, Spotify and YouTube would be good.
Yeah. So Tree says Red Note is the app that people are jumping to as a TikTok replacement, since TikTok may be banned soon. I know Evan also said that in the chat. So yeah, you really think TikTok's getting banned? I don't think that's happening.
I think it could.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I could, but I mean, this was a thing like 3 or 4 years ago, and it never really happened. So
Trump can sign an executive order when he takes office. So
doesn't Musk want to buy it though? Isn't that what he's talking about? I mean,
yeah, but apparently TikTok says they would rather ban it in America than sell it.
Really? Okay. Yeah. That's good for them.
Because they're big everywhere else too. It's not just America. So it very much could be banned. We'll see. I've never even heard of this Red Note. I'll have to give that
There'd be something wrong with Musk owning Twitter and TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though Zuckerberg owns Facebook and Instagram, so it just seems wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Joe Schmo says there's the Last Minute Blues podcast. Yeah, I'd say the big three right now are us, Last Minute, and then Locked On, right?
Yeah. Last Minute's not really a fan podcast though.
What do you call it then?
They're on. They got radio guys doing that.
Oh, you don't. So you don't count? Okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. Like
I would just say blues podcast, though. I would say there's three right now.
Blues podcast, yes. But I'm talking about they've got the in. They've got they play clips on the radio.
Our cut starts
on the radio.
Yeah. Can only involve people who used to be in the media.
Yeah, they're corporate. They're corporate already. So it's like
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I was meaning more just blues podcasts in general, because even like big time blues podcasts, there's not a lot out there.
Well, Ringside. Kerber's got the Ringside.
Kerber's got the Ringside one, which is cool. That is a nice, fun little addition to what he does.
But I wouldn't call that a fan podcast either. So
no, it's definitely not.
Right. No, it's different. It's not. I'm not saying it's better or worse, because it's just different. So, but yeah. So there's that. We have the 500th show coming up, which we have talked about doing something for. We don't have anything in stone yet.
Yeah, what sparked me was you guys talked about it last week when I wasn't here, and I think Kurt, you even said like we should probably do something for that, and it got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, we probably should. So because we did something for our 300th, and that was fun. But there are some things in the works. I'd say maybe in the next week we might be able to say something is happening. I'm talking to some people about potential live spots somewhere in St. Louis, so that's a possibility. I mean, we could also always just get together at Kurt's, which would be fun. We might just get a fun guest. We'll do something cool. We just haven't exactly figured it out yet.
Yep. And
I was going to throw my recommendation that we go to the former site of Blue Note Sports Bar and Grill and just have a show with our laser engraved mugs and reminisce.
That's a good one.
Just kind of just kind of piss on the back of the building.
Yeah.
What's the
Is the building even still
I
standing?
don't know. I don't know.
probably not. I haven't been out there.
I wonder. You know what? I mean, although he never got the kitchen up and running, so who knows if anything's there now. But as far as restaurant
no
goes,
idea. I wonder. There's a bar real close to the site of the old arena. That could be a fun. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a good bar, but that could be an interesting thing to do, and kind of on the grounds of the old arena.
oh, that brew, the tap house brew. What is it called? It's a tap bar and grill. Right?
The
I
beer
just don't
store.
know. The beer store.
It's got
I
a
know it
circle,
used to be the Highlander, but
it's got a
that's
circle
gone.
sign. It's part of
You're
like
not-
a complex there.
You're
Yeah.
not thinking of Modern, are you?
No.
So Modern's a little further down.
No, I've been there.
Right. Amy didn't like Amy's brother or somebody was
Brother-in-law.
involved with that? Brother-in-law?
Oh
was
no. Well, her brother works sometimes at Modern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, but
Man, if
that's
only
not.
we
That's not,
had devices that we could look this stuff up.
I know. Right?
Yeah. I just don't want to.
So there's apparently some Jake Neighbors news coming at
Max Local Eats.
Yes.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yes.
Amy to the rescue.
Yeah, that's
Thank
what it is.
you.
All right. And that's where we were that time we met her sister and brother-in-law there. I believe that's the same place. Jake Neighbors news coming down the pipes at 2:30 tomorrow. Do you know what it is? Is this news to you guys? I didn't share this with you. I don't know. I don't know it. I don't know it.
Yeah.
But somebody leaked something on social media on Reddit that said there's apparently some Jake Neighbors news coming be announced at 2:30 tomorrow on Thursday.
Like a trade or like a
No,
contract
I don't-
extension?
He just got one.
So what the heck? Okay.
It's probably. I mean, somebody speculated it's probably like a bobblehead announcement or something. But so
didn't they just do one of him?
did they?
Yeah.
It's so hey. So 2:30 tomorrow. Just watch the Blues social media account and see if they announce something. Or this guy in Reddit's full of shit. So either way.
I'm gonna say full of shit.
Well, it's come through 2:30 tomorrow. You never know.
What Jake Neighbors news would we have?
I don't know, something. Yeah, he could be. I don't know. He could be going to Hot Shots or something and meet and greet with fans. I don't know. Who knows? Could be something like that.
I'm so glad that's our top story.
It's not a top. It's announcements. It's little blurbs. And also the St. Louis Blues. The song St. Louis Blues turned 100 years old yesterday. Bessie Smith and Louis Armstrong's recording of W.C. Handy's St. Louis Blues turned 100 yesterday. So, and that was the inspiration for the name of the team. So, there you go.
Apparently,
there you have it. There you are.
Had an upper body precautionary issue today at practice, and he's expected to still play tomorrow. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that, but
I don't think so. But
okay, well, it's probably bullshit. Let's move on.
It could be anything. Could be an autograph signing session somewhere.
Could be bullshit.
Could be bullshit. Who knows? They shared a screenshot, a text, like a screenshot of their phone. Somebody sent somebody a message saying Jake Neighbors news tomorrow at 2:30.
Okay, so this guy's brother sent him a text.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying.
It's 10 p.m. Do you?
Last 2 weeks we've
Timely.
been on the ball with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even though it's only 9:59, but yeah.
I know. Well, we're always
Our friend Chris Bray jumps in the chat here. Says, "Hi, fellas. Just got done skating with my son in our backyard ice rink."
yeah, he does that.
That's
I've heard-
awesome.
Yeah, he does that. He and I like how he actually signs it Chris Bray because his account is JB35.
I think that's his. I think he
His
told us before. Isn't that his kid's account?
Yeah.
Kid's account or brother's account or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And thanks for the invite, Chris. Appreciate that.
Joey Vitale apparently has an ice rink in his driveway again.
Yeah.
in Kirkland.
They showed it on the Saturday night game, and John Kelly said he's my neighbor. And I haven't gotten an invite yet.
I know, and I didn't know John Kelly lived nearby because I drive. I'll be by.
You stalk them all the time.
I do because Amy lives like right near there, and we'll drive by every now and then. Like, oh, that's where I saw the 15 Christmas trees in Vitaly's windows that night. I drove by. I was like, oh, good Lord, there's a Christmas tree in every single window of his huge house. But apparently John Kelly lives nearby too, so I'll have to find out where that is and just drive by.
Count his Christmas trees.
Right. I bet you he has less. I bet you he does. Okay.
And Morris with the speculation that Jake Neighbors will be added to the Canada roster for the Four Nations.
There's no way that's true.
I don't think so. that'd be fun though.
Can you imagine all the players that did make it? How like that would cause some online kerfuffles.
Man, after
teammate Robert Thomas would be pretty pissed, I think.
Yeah, after Canada loses the World Juniors, and then they have a news like that, they're already pissed off up there. My gosh.
There's no way that's real.
No.
Hey, remember how we said we don't have a lot of topics and, possibly this show will go by quick?
No.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to beers yet, boys.
Otto, right. Well, not even Otto. Official 10. Beers of episode number 497. You can follow each of us on the Untapped app. Jeff says J Pounder 94, mine is C Price 12, and Bill's is Billy Blue Note 33. Go ahead.
It's me.
Somebody. Yeah.
I am not actually having a beer tonight. I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper.
23 ingredients.
Felt like having a Dr. Pepper tonight, and it
to match your jersey.
Jersey, yes. And
nice.
Hey, you know what? Let's mention the jersey. This Roll Tide is from the ladies hockey team over at the Alabama University. They sent me this, and it is an awesome jersey. It's very comfortable. I do not own a college hockey jersey, so it's weird that the first one I own is Alabama, but
right.
I will. But hey, I'll take it. This is like such a unique, cool thing, and it relates back to our show. And I talked to our friend Morgan Grzbowski when it came in the mail, and she's like, "You're pretty much part of the team anyway." And I was like, "That's the greatest compliment I've ever received." So yes, very cool. And now I officially get to run around and yell, "Roll Tide!"
What was that? What was that commercial?
High Tide.
High Tide. Yeah, High Tide. That was great. That was a very funny commercial. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah, almost as good as the Charred Duck Oregon one.
I don't think I saw that one. Although, for those of you who haven't seen the Car Shield commercials in St. Louis with Voltron and Toaster Ravioli Man and Brett Hall and Randy Naughton, Jake Neighbors and Braden Shen. That's good stuff.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, it's funny. I'm sure it's online, right? Somewhere. Car Shield is a YouTube channel, maybe. I don't know.
It's got to be. Chris Bray, come on over. Probably big enough for 2-on-2. That's awesome, man.
Big enough for a goalie.
All right, Bill. What do you got?
Beer wise, I'm going back to getting rid of the old stuff, and I found a really good one in there. A nice stovepipe of barrel aged 1050. This was canned 11/16/2018.
Oh my.
Yes, so 6 years and 2 months later, and it's holding its own.
It's in a can, though. Don't cans hold their age better than bottles? So yeah,
they do. And yeah, I'm drinking from the Bourbon County glass that I somehow wound up with at home.
I have one of those. I love those. Those are nice. Those are nice, small. I like those.
Yeah. So it's really it's holding it's keeping the head on it pretty well. I am a fan of this. Always loved this beer. It was always hard to get. And I forgot I had it, so
it was playing hard to get.
It was.
I don't have a beer either. I've got water and some fruit snacks. So
you guys are going to give me a complex. I'm the only alcoholic on the show.
Bill's drinking alone tonight. All right.
Well, it's not different than any
I
other night.
gotta what's the word? Not get burned out on beer. Which is that possible? Maybe we'll have a future beer sponsor of the show that we having beers every episode from them. Maybe that'd be kind of cool. So
That would be.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a call an audible here, Kurt. I think we should go ahead and take our break.
I agree with you. So on the other side of this break, since we're due for one, we'll get into Otto Stenberg and the couple of Blues games this week. So you're listening to Kurt, Bill, and Jeff on Let's Go Blues Radio.
We'll return after these messages.
As a hockey player, Mike Burgoyne knows a thing or two about making the perfect play. And when it comes to real estate, he's always ready to score the winning goal for his clients. If you're a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues Radio listener looking to score the home of your dreams, you'll receive special rates with Mike. Go ahead, shoot some questions his way, and he'll have the answer quicker than Curtis Joseph on a breakaway.
Curtis Joseph got the paddle down!
Any barriers? Mike will mow them down like Chris Pronger in front of the net. He'll score you your dream home or sell your existing home faster than a Brett Hall one-timer.
Put past the Hall, he shoots, he scores!
See Burgoyne's real estate prowess in action today by emailing him at mike@strikewithmike.com or by calling 314-753-4060. That email again is mike@strikewithmike.com, and that phone number is 314-753-4060. Getting Mike Burgoyne on your team will be the boost your power play needs.
Hey guys, it's Jeff. You know, the fun, energetic host of Let's Go Blues Radio. I know I give off a natural energy and cheerful glow, but as I've gotten older, I've realized I need a kick in the pants to get going. I've tried it all, from forcing myself to drink coffee to picking up an energy drink every morning, but none of it provided true, sustainable energy without crash. Luckily, my friend Dustin at RockinThatIDLife.com told me about their product, Energy, which provides exactly what I need. The first thing I do every morning is fill up my shaker bottle with water and a small energy packet, and within minutes of drinking it, my day truly begins. I feel motivated to get going on my work and feel the mental focus take effect as I dive into what I'm doing. I don't crash, and I feel like $1,000,000 throughout the day. Reach out to Dustin today to experience how much better your professional life can be. Email him at rockinthatidlife@gmail.com and get $10 off your first order. That's rockinthatidlife.com, and that email again is rockinthatidlife@gmail.com. Don't let a lack of energy keep you from being who you want to be.
Yes, and as you can see, there are a lot of different ways to stamp out thirst with refreshing Stag beer. Now, one of the most popular is this handy six-pack. People like the six-pack because it saves space in the refrigerator, lets them keep more good, cold Stag beer on hand. And you know, when you've got Stag on hand, you've got a mess.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
I totally forgot that I have something to share with you fellas. My mom is in the middle of going through her house to throw things away because she is planning on moving this year. And she found something from my dad's teenage years. Check this out.
A sheet of autographed. Are those real autographs? Or
I don't think they're real.
Okay.
But,
it's a sheet of, is it like a, what is that?
It's just like it's basically poster board with 8 pictures of Blues from the 70s.
Did he make that, or was that like a pre-made thing?
I think he made it because on the other side,
oh wow,
got the St. Louis Cardinals
baseball
team.
That's awesome, Big Red.
Yeah.
I love the Big Red.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure this out, and I was going to ask you guys if you have any idea. I know that's Chuck Leffley over there on the right.
Yeah.
I don't think I know any of these other players.
All right, hold it up. Hold it up to the camera so we can actually seize it.
Oh man.
So there's our first three.
So Ed Kia is the second guy.
Okay, yeah.
He terrible story about him. He died of brain injury. A few years after he drowned in a pond, but he got checked, his head checked into the dasher in his last year of professional hockey.
No helmet.
Yep. So is that so Chuck Buffley.
Then I don't know who 18 is there in the middle.
Is that Brad Maxwell?
Well, I can check on the Blues.
You guys say, Kurt, pull up the all-time
the
Blues,
the number, what was called,
numerical roster.
Go to the
18 there, and then trying to get this guy back. That is number 28. Sorry, I'm going to flip it for a second.
Phil Roberto.
So what 18? What? Let me see the signature.
It's so Ken Morris says Phil Roberto.
Okay.
That seems like what that seems to match the signature.
Phil Roberto.
It's me,
For
your
18?
daddy, Roberto.
That's an 8, right? 18.
It's your daddy, Roberto.
There's no.
Sorry, I didn't get the Louisiana accent in there properly.
I don't see Phil Roberto. Pat Hickey? No. That's
might
in
already
the,
be spending way too much time on this.
That's in the 80s, right? Early 80s.
This might be 80s. I'm not sure.
No, this is 70s.
Is it
I say
70s?
it looks like 70s to me.
So 18, you got Larry Keenan, Britt Selby, Floyd Thompson, Harvey Bennett, Rick LaPointe, and then you're in the 80s. So
that could be Rick LaPointe.
Doesn't look like the signature though. Maybe.
That looks like Rich something.
It could be Rick.
Rick
LaPointe?
Rick LaPointe. There you go.
Is that what it is?
And then Ed Keene. And then let's see, Ralph something.
What's the number?
Sturgis?
What's the number?
28.
28. We got. Oh gosh, Frank Spring, Rick Bourbonnais, Jamie Masters.
Is there a Ralph?
Ralph Clausen.
Here it is.
Yeah,
Ralph Clausen. Okay.
KLAS.
Bottom row, real quick. I think that's a 7. So is that Red Berenson?
Either Red Berenson or Gary Unger.
Berenson, Unger, or Don Lawrence.
It looks like 7,
It's not Joe Mull.
7, 12, 4, and 20, I believe, is what this bottom row is. So, let's see if I can position this correctly.
Let me see 7.
7 is this there.
That's not. Is that?
No, that's right-handed shooting number 7.
What, is there an autograph?
And that's not Joey.
No,
Moore.
the bottom row does not have autographs on it.
Okay, so if it's
that's
not Gary Unger, is it?
I think that's 80s.
That
It's not Gary Unger.
Okay, if Joe Mullen, then Cliff Ronning was 86 and 91. So
yeah,
I
so
don't
it's either Don Lawrence, maybe it's gonna be Don Lawrence.
It's got to be Don Lawrence.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's not Berenson or Unger, so it's got to be Lawrence.
No. And then we've got, let's see, what did I say this one? I think this one's 12. Next
I should know that.
Our podcast audience is probably really loving this.
Let's see, we got
Micheletti was 12, but that's not Micheletti.
Yeah, Gord Brooks, Bob Colliard. God, I don't even know. Rick Bonin.
Skip that one.
Rick Bonus was in 79. Joe Micheletti, 80-82. That's not Micheletti?
No, I don't believe it is.
Same color hair.
I don't know. It might be. I'll have to look up
And then
pictures of it.
Ron Flockhart. No, it's too late.
Is that
Let's move on.
Number 4, Brad Maxwell, I bet.
Number 4. That'd be 80-81. Brian Maxwell.
Brian Maxwell.
Yeah.
Could be.
Or Dick Lambie, Scott Campbell.
Yeah.
All right. Are we good?
Yep.
All right. Anyway, yeah, I think I might be hanging this one up. So
that's pretty cool.
I found this and I thought this was awesome. I mean, the only thing that sucks is I've got the other side that's the Cardinals, which would be really cool to hang up too. But Blues fits the motif.
Take a picture of the back, and then you can look at the back.
There you go.
Otto Stenberg transferred to the Springfield Thunderbirds from the Swedish Hockey League's SHL Malmo Redhawks to the Blues affiliate Springfield Thunderbirds. He did not play tonight. You looked that up, Jeff. So
yes, he was not in. I know he practiced. I saw pictures of him in the Thunderbirds practice jersey. But yeah, I wonder if it's just they're going to sit him out for the first game or two, let him practice with the team, and then let him start up.
Stenberg was selected by the Blues in the first round, number 25 overall in a 23 entry draft. Armstrong said, after discussions with Otto and his representatives, we agreed it is best for him to begin his pro career in North America now. We're looking forward to his continued development alongside many of our other prospects in Springfield. So he appeared in 25 games with Red Hawks this season, got 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points, and 4 penalty minutes. He was reportedly not getting a lot of playing time in the SHL, and that's a league where the teams are trying to actually win games, not necessarily plug in prospects.
League.
Yeah, it's not a developmental league.
Yeah, he's playing with men.
And this is the same league that Dvorsky had the Blues, and Dvorsky was pulled out of last year. Dvorsky played 10 games, no points, wasn't getting any playing time. So the Blues pulled him out and brought him over here, and he tore it up.
Right. Little different story because he went to Sudbury.
Right. Sudbury first. Right. But and he's played well this year.
Now in the AHL.
So, the Blues and the SHL pulling a couple players out last couple of years due to, I guess, teams not using the players how they
teams have their own interest in the SHL, which makes sense. I mean, they're a money-making league. They're a professional league, the top league in Sweden. They're going to do everything they can to win and make money for the franchise. Stenberg was a guy that stepped in as a young man and just wasn't what they needed, so he wasn't getting the playing time. And when he really wasn't impressing. And again, keep in mind, he's playing against professionals. He's not playing against young kids his age. I mean, there's a couple other ones floating out there. But yeah, so originally he was on what's the number one team over there, Frölunda. They loaned him to Malmo thinking, oh, Malmo will give him more playing time. And Malmo was like, nope, this ain't working for us either. And I'm not saying that to shit on Stenberg. I think it's literally what you just said about Dvorsky. I think it's just they want to play guys they know are going to get them wins now. They don't care. Well, if we develop him, he's going to be great in 3 years. They don't give a shit about that because he's not going to be there in 3 years. Right. So now that he's in Springfield, we're going to see. He's not going to light it up like Dvorsky, I don't think, but he's going to be a much bigger contributor in Springfield because the Blues kind of have they don't own the Thunderbirds, but Thunderbirds have the Blues' best wishes in mind as they develop players as well. So he's going to get more playing time, and I think we'll see him start racking up some points.
Did the Thunderbirds have to make a move to bring him in?
Dean is not playing right now, so he hasn't been playing. He's hurt, so I don't know if that was part of this or not.
He hasn't played since the first week of the season.
Right, Dean and somebody else. Alexandrov, I think, is hurt too.
Might be.
So I don't know if Dean has been out for a while, and I can't remember if Alexandrov was hurt recently or not, and this is kind of part of that. But I'm not even sure what the rules are with AHL teams, and as far as being a developmental league, whether or not they're given flexibility with the roster sizes.
I don't think they are. I think they have to send people down to the ECHL. And
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Because, you got to fill those rosters out, too.
Right.
Now, ECHL, I don't know what their rules are, because is there a league under the ECHL? I mean, I know there is, but they're not affiliated with any NHL teams.
Mighty Mites?
Yeah. Senior A whale shit hockey.
Yes. All right. So we'll, hopefully he develops more along the lines of how the Blues wanted to over here. So,
yeah, I mean,
are you guys somewhat surprised we haven't seen Dvorsky up here yet?
No.
I kind of am. I thought by now, especially with in the Fowler trade, I keep going back to that because
it's still his first year at Springfield. Very well.
They filled a need with Fowler, and I thought your biggest need has still not been filled. Are you at least going to let this guy audition to see what he can do?
No.
And they haven't done that yet, which I'm not saying they're wrong. I've been a little surprised. I thought they would at least give him a little cup of coffee. Like, come up, play 2-3 games. We'll send you back.
He's only played 30 games for Springfield. So,
Right. He's only played 30 games, and every night we're making decisions to sit 2 guys, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody were to get injured, probably 2 guys get injured, I would like to hear his name as the first call up, but I'm not upset. I'm not surprised.
Depending on who the spot is they need to fill, like if it's a Neighbors versus a Walker, I think they might give a look at Silvergard too. From what I hear in Springfield, that dude's been tearing it up and looks great. So, and I know he signed with the Blues because he had options, and I think he picked the Blues because he's like, that's probably my best path to the NHL as opposed to their teams that are interested in me. So I could see him getting a call up too. He's looked pretty good.
The Blues took on the Anaheim Ducks. What day was this? A week ago? 5 days ago?
This was last Thursday.
6 days ago. Yeah, rocked the Ducks 6-2. Montgomery before this game said that I hope everyone has cabin fever from being snowed in for 3 to 4 days with the ice storm. The Blues are going to be ready to rock tonight. My ask for our fans tonight is be ready to rock from puck drop. This was the Cam Fowler's ceremony before the game where he got a truckload of stuff.
Yeah,
that was. Have you guys seen a ceremony like that before? Where
not
both
with that
teams
much
are
stuff.
involved?
No, I loved it. That
was cool. Yeah,
the painting was badass.
Right, the fact that he got a Blues, like he's played 7 games in a Blues uniform, 9 games.
Although you know what,
it being an
outdoor game, that painting, I'm sure it's special to him, right? Being an outdoor game, and his scored 2 goals in that game, and it's cool painting. And I think it was a comment was made. I forgot who said it. One of the cooler, maybe it was Kelly. Who said that's one of the cooler paintings that we've seen being given to players on the ice. It was really neat. That was neat. And they got a Rolex. He got that's the silver stick for 1,000 games. And
so we speculated: are the Blues just going to tell the Ducks, "Hey, part of the trade, send the silver stick"? The Ducks. It's pretty clear the Ducks were the ones that had the silver stick for him. So Pat Verbeek was the one that gave it to him.
Yeah, that's got to be something that is ordered a month in advance at least, right? So they had that already. But
yeah, no, I really loved that ceremony. Typically I watch those things and I'm usually just happy that it's on TV when it gets on because we've been fucked so hard by Bally and Fox Sports in the past. So seeing it on was great. But usually I kind of sit there and I'm like, okay, this is cool. It's cool. All right, game time. Here we go. Like I was really relishing every minute of that. I thought that was such a unique situation with having both teams so involved. Like he took a picture with the Ducks captains, the Blues captains. Like you guys said, he got so much shit given to him. And
his kid apparently got a Cars watch.
Yeah, which I thought that was hilarious because the wife got one too, and then they gave one to the kid. And I'm like, that is really cool. So it's just a really cool ceremony. I loved watching that.
And how neat was it that the game after or the first home game after his 1,000th was against the Ducks? I was like,
that's not true.
It wasn't the first home game?
They played the Oilers. No, they played the Oilers in between. I'm sorry, the Senators in between.
So it was the second home game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was at the Senators game.
Still, the Ducks were like, it was right there.
Right after.
Ducks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
yeah. I had so when I was at the game with some friends, one of them asked me, why didn't they do a ceremony for Fowler? And I was like, because they've got the Ducks coming in next week. Why would you waste that against the Senators?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, nobody cares about the Senators. So Blues ran away with this one. This game was watching this game. 6-2 Blues. A bunch of Blues had a couple points each. It was scoring was spread out, but and the deserved to win meter was 67.4% for the Blues, 32.7% for the Ducks. Blues owned this game. But watching this game, it's like, how are the Ducks hovering on 500? They were awful in this game. It was a terrible team.
Yeah, they looked like an AHL team. I mean, just the god awful defending, goaltending. Dostal was pretty awful, giving up terrible rebounds.
Yeah, that was bad.
When
Gibson was good.
I
12-12.
Didn't give up anything. Yeah, 12 for 12, and I don't know. It's their D just looked terrible, and Dostal, who was off his angle all night, and just kept giving up terrible rebounds right around the net.
Yeah, so. I said on the Let's Go Blues minute after this game, I'm like, after Montgomery's comments, why the hell did I decide to start Dostal? Like in my fantasy league, I was like, I even thought it right after. I'm like, maybe I should sit Dostal. But I'm like, he's the head coach. He's just like hyping his team up. And then I'm like, what was it? 3 goals in the first 3:55, and it was just god damn it.
You know what?
Yay, but god damn it.
Do you know what though? I was worried about this game, the start of this game, because games with ceremonies or delayed starts, the home team is just like it's not part of the regular routine and the procedure. There's delay, there's a lull, different emotions, and all of a sudden they got to play hockey afterwards. And it's like, it's probably a lot easier for the road team to get up for that than it is for the home team. So,
except in this scenario, right? That it's the guy that was like the emotional leader of that Ducks locker room for years. So that evened it out, I think.
Well, and I thought it was crazy too how, it's an emotional moment, and Cam Fowler started the game. It was like, here's all this great shit you're getting, and like you're seeing all your old friends. They're all here with you on the ice. And then there's a game to play and you're going to start. Like, I was like, damn, this would be kind of hard to like switch gears that quickly for Cam Fowler.
Got to start him though. You can't sit him.
I love
game. You got to start him.
I love Joe Schmo's comment. Fowler was like a kid whose parents split up right before his birthday.
Yep. I was going to say, that's our comment of the show right there. Very nice.
Got everything. Yeah. That's, the prizes just kept on coming. It was like he won both showcases on. I told my daughter it was like he won both showcases on The Price is Right.
He got it with it $100. Is it $100?
It's $250 now.
$250.
It was back in the Barker era. It was $100, and now it's $250. I think it's $250. It's more anyway. So yeah, if you look at the heat map where the scoring chances was ridiculous, it was just it was a laugher game. So. This was a nice opportunity. The Blues played well against Anaheim, coming against now the Blue Jackets, the revenge game from a couple of games prior, and they couldn't beat the Blue Jackets again. And
Montgomery came out with the same vigor, and because he made the comment about the jukebox heroes, the Blues are the jukebox heroes tonight, and it was like, okay, here we go again, and it's like.
Well,
I don't know. Obviously, he's not going to do that every game, but you're thinking they just had a big win. Here's another big win against the Blue Jackets. That was not the case.
Yeah,
I will say that I'm grateful that Jukebox Hero is not going to be this year's Gloria.
Yeah, I agree.
No kidding. I thought the Blues played really well. Greaves was amazing.
Yeah.
And that he won that game for them.
Right. It's what his like less than 10 career NHL starts or something like that.
15. 15. He has 15.
2 wins against the Blues.
Yeah, 5 this year.
Very convincing wins against the Blues.
I mean,
he played really well.
What's the difference?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought the Blues had a lot of the same drive we saw in the Anaheim game, but they just could not solve what I called him earlier tonight, Ryan Greaves. Jet Greaves played very, very well.
I'm surprised you didn't say Brian Reeves.
Brian Reeves. Brian Greaves.
Like he's from Mute League Hockey.
You're right. Nice. But the deserved to win meter was very similar to this game than it was in Anaheim, although I didn't think it was that lopsided. Watching the game, but the Blues deserve better in this game. Greaves just stole it. As far as that goes, wins and losses aside, the Blues are playing some pretty good hockey right now, for the most part. And they just, it's like when they do lose, it's because of a soft goal or a mistake that just ends up in the back of the net. And it's just like, and they played fairly well otherwise. And that one mistake just burns them, stands out. So
well, it's in the one goal they score, which 10 seconds left, was a really nice goal.
It was
like they set it up perfectly on the power play, and Parayko was right where he needed to be for that rebound, popped it past Greaves, and it was just like, if they could have done this even 20 seconds earlier, I would have had belief. Like, there's a chance they still come tie this, but
they
came too late.
They had a chance too, with
right. They
a couple
did
seconds
the right
to
thing,
go.
right? They got it in, they got it deep, they got it below them, and
and they got it towards the net. So I mean, it was,
and he held the post.
Yeah, just frustrating. I used to not give a shit about Columbus at all. They were irrelevant to me for the most part, because they've never done anything. They upset Tampa Bay that one year in the first round. That was it. But apparently we can't beat them now. We've lost 4 straight games to Columbus. And I think they whooped our ass in the preseason too. If I remember correctly. So I officially hate them now. I used to not get up for the Blue Jackets games at all, but next year, bring them the fuck on. I can't wait to beat this team next year.
Right. That the game in Columbus, we really lost to their top line, right? They dominated that game. Goaltending wasn't good on either side in that game, but in this game, the story really was Jack Greaves.
And I mean, it was the young guys that scored for them too. It was Fantilli and Sillinger.
Right.
And Del Bell Belouz with an assist, by the way. I was like,
that is my new favorite name in the NHL. Luca Del Bell Belouz.
Del Boca Vista.
Is he a defenseman? What is he?
He's a forward.
He's a forward. Okay.
Come on, Ponder.
I wish
Del
that
Boca
we could
Vista
have
reference from Seinfeld.
We got it. We're just moving past it.
I want some acknowledgement of the joke. God damn
it. I would love to see. I wish he played defense, because then we could see a pairing of Luca Del Bell Belouz and Bubba Baronswig. Remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Or Jean-Luc Grandpierre.
Yes.
The big
guys with like 7 names.
The Blues outshot the Blue Jackets in the third period 15-4. So they brought it. They brung it in the third.
They brought it, and Jet Greaves, man, and he's a smaller guy, right? I didn't realize this is. I don't think I watched the game they played last year, but he's a smaller stature guy. I think even smaller than at least he appeared smaller than UC Saros. But he had all of his angles, his flexibility. Some of those kick saves that he made were just incredible. And just
undrafted as well. Younger guy comes in. He's 23. Trying to find. Here we go.
How many times have the Blues had problems with goalies like this?
Yeah,
the goalies haven't played many games. Undrafted, unknowns. And they can't fucking beat him.
He's been featured a few times in In Goal magazine. They've done some pieces with him. And I'm like, who is this guy? And seeing that game, I'm like, man, I don't know. As long as
the Kalamazoo Wings of the ECHL, Cleveland Monsters of the AHL, and the Blue Jackets. So goalies who played in the ECHL working their way to the NHL, you got to applaud that. But at the same time, like Kurt said, I mean, these are guys you got to beat. But for some reason, even when the Blues were a perennial Cup favorite, they always have had trouble with these types of guys.
Especially if you're I mean, especially this season for St. Louis, they're trying to make the playoffs. They need points, and to not come through in games like this against
dropping 2 games to Columbus in 8 days like that, getting 0 points against Columbus in eight games. If we miss the playoffs,
you look back on those.
We'll talk about that.
Columbus is Columbus this year's San Jose.
San Jose
is this year's San Jose too. Still,
we beat them twice though this year, right?
Once was overtime though, right? I mean,
but I mean, still, who cares? They're not going to make the playoffs.
I know, but I mean, I'm with you. Although Columbus is holding down a playoff spot right now, so
Right.
They're
and like I said last week's show, I'm super proud of Columbus for having, such a good year after the terrible offseason they went through.
But this is so. I mean, with the Blues, what they're doing recently now is they win 2, they lose 1, they win 2, they lose 2. They're kind of in this like rut where they're like hovering around 500 a game over, and they've got to get moving. They can't be doing this, especially now with this homestand. And that game against Columbus was one of those games we talked about last week that you got to win this game. You can't. I mean, we were like anything less than 4 wins or 7 of 8 points is like that's a missed opportunity, because these are games you could win, should win, need to win. Against teams. If you're going to be a playoff team, you got to beat these fringe playoff teams and the teams that are just above you or just below you.
So I did for the Let's Go Blues minute leading into this Calgary game. I did a little math on the remaining schedule for the Blues. So let's take out last night's game, the first Calgary game. They now have 37 games remaining. Only 6 against the East. For those of you who are like, why do the Blues keep playing East teams? Well, you've only got 6 left now, which is a beauty. They have 31 games against the West and 17 against the Central. And looking at teams that they're likely fighting for playoff positioning with, I have it as the Stars, Oilers, Kings, Avalanche, Flames, Canucks, and Utah Coyotes. They have 17 games left against those teams.
They have 40. They have 30. They have 42 games played right now. So before last night's game, they have 39 games left.
Is that right?
Yeah, because they have. Well, I'm sorry, they have 41 games left because they have 40 games left today. 82 game season.
Is that right?
42 games played. That's what.
How did I fuck that math up?
Unless like last week, I've got an old version of the standings up. I refreshed it. 42 games played, right?
Oh, I got 45.
That is wrong.
I've got 45 games
I'm refreshing this goddamn screen. It's not giving me the proper. I just did it again. Why is it not?
I don't know how that happens to you.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I should be right then. 37 games left. So 31 against the West, 17 against the Central, and then 17 against teams they're fighting for playoff positioning with, which to me, and you guys can tell me I'm crazy if you want, that to me says they kind of still control their own destiny here. If they get their business done against those teams that they're battling for playoff positioning and against other West teams, they could easily make the playoffs. Every single night they get 2 points. They could be leapfrogging a team pretty much right now. So, yeah, I'm with you. It's like you got to start taking care of business now. Right. This is your playoff push.
And especially the teams we're playing, because Calgary, we're 5 points going into last night's game, 5 points ahead. So the Blues, if they lose last night and lose on Thursday, they're 9 points behind Calgary, and Calgary's got 2 games in hand, and that's a possibility of 13 points down on Calgary. You're like, that's rough, right? Yeah. It's just visually, it's a huge hill to climb. Even though
you mentioned they keep stringing 2 wins and a loss, and then 2 losses and a win. They still have not won 3 games in a row.
Right. And that's
crazy.
I mean, I'm surprised their record is. I'm surprised they're over 500 that they can't win 3 in a row. To be honest, that just shows that they haven't lost too many in a row either.
I feel like it's harder to do to be at 500 or above and not have won 3 games in a row at any point.
How many times? 7 times they've won 2 in a row, and they have not been won 3 in a row.
Shit.
So, but hopefully.
Have you guys seen what's happened in Detroit since the coaching change? Like 7 in a row. Like we were hoping that would be the Montgomery effect here. They're playing a much better brand of hockey, I think. But can you imagine if they could string 4 together? Like we'd be like,
yeah. Red Wings just lost. They lost last night.
I feel like if they just went on like a 5 to 6 game streak, like I agree. I know that's asking a lot. But 5 to 6 games in a row, getting a win, I feel like right there, that's catapults you pretty much into a playoff spot. You just got to do it, and they can't seem to bust that hump.
Vancouver is falling like a rock. There was an article written, I forgot what the site, that they said they're going to be sellers at the deadline. Just they're not playing well. They have 3 wins in the last 10.
Well, and they got locker room problems too.
Yeah, locker room problems. Yeah. Utah, who is, and we're sort of chasing Vancouver. We're 5 points behind them with 2 more games played, but they're playing poorly. So whatever. Utah is right behind us, 3 points behind us with 2 games in hand, and we play them on Saturday. So after we play Calgary on Thursday, if we do win against Calgary on Thursday, it'd be a huge game against Utah on Saturday to win 3 in a row because they're behind us, right behind us. So these are big games with teams right around you in the standings that you have to win.
Right, and Utah is another team that we just have not been able to beat,
and they're playing poorly too.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, they lost to Montreal last night.
They've lost 2 in a row. They're 2-7-1 in the last 10.
So you mentioned, getting to the point real quickly, they have a chance here to get 3 wins in a row. This will be the first of the season. If you look at Calgary versus the Blues, Jordan Binnington is 8-1-0 in his last 10 games. 9 of those were starts against the Flames. In those 10 games, he's posted a .296 GAA, .909 save percentage, and a shutout. So it's like your goalie is, and the Blues in general have owned Calgary the last 10 years.
He better play on Thursday.
Yeah,
because I thought he played. I thought he played really well on. The goalie allowed I thought was soft, but other than that, he was good. He was great, right?
I agree. And Bill, I know this is something you pretty much harp on every week. It's the fucking schedule. Like, they make the schedule before the season starts, and they're just like, "Oh, here's the whole schedule of what our goalie's going to play."
There's no way this is a must-win game again. I think.
Yeah, no,
you have to look at anything.
Hofer has not looked good his last few times out. Binnington, it has looked much better the last 2 games. He looks very calm. And he's settled back into a groove the last 2 games. But again, it's hard to say because we haven't been able to do more than win a couple of games at a time. But I think tomorrow night you're going to see Binnington versus Wolf, right? I don't think Calgary comes back with Vladar. Vladar wasn't bad, but the rebound he gave up on the first Blues goal, not very good.
Well, there were 2 big rebounds.
I was shocked that they played Wolf against Chicago because they had, that was their second of a back-to-back, and they played Vladar against us, and I thought, Dustin Wolf is pretty much your starter. Why are you playing him against the fucking Blackhawks? Like, you're facing a team that is trying to catch you in the standing. Chicago ain't catching you. So it was surprising to see Vladar get the start last night. I definitely think we will see Wolf tomorrow night.
Yeah, and if they do yourselves a favor, watch from the get-go. If you're at the game, pay attention to him. He does that crazy little jump thing before every game. That his warm-up routine is second to none right now in the NHL.
I will be there, so I'll be looking out.
Give yourself a treat.
I will.
Bring your GoPro.
Yeah.
Film it.
Strap it to your chest.
I wonder if
put on your head.
Would they let me in with that?
Why not? You can record with your phone.
You could sneak that in.
Just wear it on your head. You can. Why? You're allowed to record inside there, right?
Are you?
Why not? People do all the time.
I don't think you can bring professional cameras, but they probably wouldn't even notice a GoPro.
A GoPro is not a professional.
But you got to go through security.
Yeah,
you're probably gonna make me take it out of my pocket.
No,
just strap it to your head the whole time. Have it when you walk in.
Put it in your jug.
All right, I'll give it a shot. We'll see.
Or just like call them before and say, "Hey, can I bring a GoPro in and strap it to my head?" And I don't know.
Anyway, no. So this is the perfect opportunity because, like I said, you play Binnington tomorrow night. He's got the Flames' number, and then you go into Utah, which Utah is one of the worst home teams this season. You go into Utah, you take on the Coyotes. You gotta win that game too. And it's like you do that and you strap together 3 in a row. All of a sudden you're cooking, and playoffs are a very real possibility.
And then you've got Vegas twice, and then Dallas, and then you got Vancouver and then Colorado. So you've got some games coming up. So you got some games coming up. They're tough. So you need to get these points because who knows what's going to happen against Vegas twice and Dallas and Colorado.
Yep.
So I mean, you can't blow the opportunity to get these points.
Right. I think at this point, as far as the Blues goaltending goes, you ride Binnington until he gives up 4 goals in a game. Right. Hofer's not having the same year he had last year. If the Blues lose tomorrow night, maybe you go Hofer, but I think it's only if you lose with Binnington giving up 4 goals.
I just don't. I know that we've harped on this a million times. I feel like this season more than others, I've really not understand the goalie scheduling because it's like Hofer will have a pretty good game, and then he doesn't play the next game, and then same with Binnington. It's like Binnington will have a great game. The Red Wings, he gets the shutout against the Red Wings, and then the next game they start Hofer, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Binnington starts tomorrow. I'd be shocked if he doesn't, and I bet you Hofer starts on Saturday against Utah.
Yeah,
because I think Binnington's going to play the next 3 against Vegas, and Dallas.
Right,
and then you go back to Hofer against Vancouver, maybe. But you're starting Binnington 3 out of 4.
I think at this point, I'm with Bill. I think you ride Binnington. He's your starter.
Right, and
but they won't do that though.
I know that, but I'm saying they should.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think Hofer plays on Saturday.
Right. If there's any thought that you have to manage Binnington's minutes going into the 4 Nations because he's been projected to be the starter for Canada, Sam Mountain Bowl is playing pretty damn good hockey right now, so they can, Armstrong will have enough influence over those decisions that you split them, right? It's not going to be like the World Juniors where if Canada loses, it's the end of the world. I think you're going to see both those guys in that tournament. So if that's even a consideration, throw it out the window.
I don't even think, and maybe I'm overstepping what Armstrong thinks of the 4 Nations. If I'm Doug Armstrong, I do not give a shit. I'm saying I want my Blues to play well.
Fuck yeah.
Montgomery, play him as much as possible. And if he's run down by the 4 Nations, I just will tell whoever the head coach is, hey, don't play my guy Binnington every game.
Right.
Like, to me, 4 Nations is an afterthought to what you do in the season.
Well, last night the Blues did beat the Flames 2-1. So Binnington versus Vladar. I thought I liked both goalies in this game. We talked about that, but to be honest, this game to me wasn't an exciting game at all. First 2 periods, I thought.
Really?
I thought that it was close. Don't be wrong. It was a close game. I thought it was there weren't a ton of great chances. I didn't think. There wasn't a lot of end-to-end stuff. I thought the game was kind of played safe a little bit by both teams. But until the third period. The third period came along, and then you're okay. We're getting it's a 1-goal game, third period, and then Calgary ties it, and then all of a sudden we got a close game, and then it's on.
I'll admit, I saw a lot of people agreeing with your sentiment this morning, and I was surprised because I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was a fun. Yes, it wasn't back and forth. It didn't have a ton of scoring chances, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because, the Blues scored early, which was exciting. And maybe it's just because it's like, you're battling Calgary for playoff positioning. So I don't know. I enjoyed this game a lot.
Well, they didn't.
I agree
they scored early.
Third period. Holy shit.
Well,
that was a fun period.
They scored within the first minute, and then they didn't score again for 50 minutes or whatever it is.
Ever.
So, yeah. So there was a goal right off the bat, and then nothing as far as production from the Blues goes, and nothing from Calgary until the third period. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I need goals for a game to be exciting. That's not the case at all. I love goaltender duels and things, but I didn't really see a big goaltender duel, even though both goalies played well. There weren't a lot of amazing saves. It was just, it was fine. It was a hockey game. Nothing really stood out in the first 2 periods too much for me.
It was super tight checking, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no,
it
it
was
was like it was a safe game, chess game. Yeah,
it was a battle of attrition. It felt, at times it felt like a playoff game, and I think that's, I think I enjoyed it the same way Ponder did. Like, this is the kind of game you have to be able to battle through to win.
Oh, I agree.
Right, and
I thought it was lacking intensity in the first two periods. I didn't think it had that.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I think you're going to see a different game tomorrow night.
Yeah,
with it being back to back, same team. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. The NHL needs to do this more often.
Oh, for sure.
I think especially with teams from the other division within the West, put us against them back to back every fucking time and play them only twice. Do back to back, one at home, one away, and that way you got a little bit of tenacity in that second game.
Oh, you'll get a lot more intensity in the second game for sure. I fully expect Calgary to come out and with a chip on their shoulder in the second. They don't want the Blues to get within 1 point of them in the standings. They want to push the Blues back to 5 points, and they did. They just lost the Blues. They have all kinds of incentive to motivate them to step it up and play better against the Blues. And the Blues better have a pushback. They better be ready for it, and they better just punch them in the mouth and take it early again. I don't know. Because this is a must. I mean, it's not a must-win game, but it is, right? You can't lose this.
John Kelly called last game a must-win game, and I didn't disagree with him for once.
I agree
for once.
So,
so I just want to mention on the first goal. Did a little research this morning. Blues, I feel like they've been activating the defense a lot more under Montgomery, which is awesome. They've got the offensive weapons back there. And I feel like Bannister, I don't know if it was the coaching or what it was, but I feel like the period between Berube and Montgomery, the defense really didn't get activated much. They've been doing a lot more, especially that top pairing, Parayko and Fowler. So since the Winter Classic, the Blues' defense has scored 8 out of the Blues' 27 goals. That actually leads the league in that time frame. Colorado is in second with 7 goals, and that's only because Devin Taves, I think, thinks he's a forward now. He has 5 goals in 8 games. So without him, they wouldn't even be close. Parayko and Fowler, I thought, were extremely active on that first goal, which is what you want to see. And yeah, I don't know. I just think it's really impressive to see some of these guys. Tyler Tucker's putting up a ton of points lately, which has been great.
Yeah, it's weird.
Ryan Suter is looking like his old self.
Fowler. The addition of Fowler too.
Good.
Yeah, the addition of Fowler has helped a lot too. I mean, he's a guy that can create stuff in the offensive zone too. So it's they have a lot of weapons.
I think the addition of Fowler, what that did, that's probably been like the most under the radar part of that is it's given the Blues balance. And we're not running Ryan Suter out there 26 minutes a game. Right. And we're able to work Tyler Tucker into where he can be successful. And Ken in the chat asked Tucker or Perunovich tomorrow night. It's got to be Tucker because he's got 2 goals and, a goal and a great setup in the Calgary game for the winner. As much as we've, denigrated him, on this show, right now he's playing a damn good brand of hockey, and I think he'll be in there for the foreseeable future.
What do we always say? And I know, Kurt, you've said this exact thing before. I want to be proven wrong when I'm naysaying a Blues player.
Yeah.
Like when Jake Allen was going through his shit every January, I was like, prove me wrong, Jake. Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
And Tyler Tucker is proving us wrong right now. His speed, obviously, at this point in his career is not going to change, but I feel like he has really developed his ability to keep guys to the outside, not try to win foot races, but be better positionally to keep guys outside. And like you said, Bill, offensively, he's been contributing. So I think he got to stick with Tucker.
Surprising instincts in the offensive zone. That on the game-winning goal last night, that to be able to have the presence of mind to know that you're going to have a guy mid-slot that all you have to do is throw it at him and he's going to get a stick on it. Like that shows some savvy. And, go back to the Ducks game, the goal he scored there, very similar situation, just rolling the wrist shot from the point. He in the Ducks game, he used a screen to beat Dostal. And in the Flames game, Foxa was standing there for the high slot redirect that, maybe Vladar should have that, but it's tough. You've got almost a double screen. And Tucker read the play well.
Tucker has a goal and assist in his last 3 games. So yeah, that's I can't imagine him not starting. Even though I think Perunovic should be starting more, generally speaking, but Tucker's playing well, and he was playing well in Springfield. That's why he was called up. Mm-hmm. So and I was like, oh, prove it to me, because last we saw him up here, he wasn't great. So
Big Beaver says he gets in better position, but he still finds himself in the box at sometimes the most unnecessary times. Yeah, I see that. And I think part of his reputation, I think he's gotten a couple calls that have gone against him that have just been kind of like,
he's got 3 minors in the last 9 games. 2 of them are fighting majors too, though. He's got.
Yep.
So.
And I'm with Joe Schmo here too. Tucker's been making nice outlets lately. He made, God, I can't remember what game that was.
He looked like Chris Pronger.
We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about last week.
He made the step behind his net and then put his body and put his weight into the pass. It was right on the tape. And it was just, is that fucking Chris Pronger? Like, that was a beautiful play.
Yeah, that was to Sundqvist. That was the was it Tucker to Sundqvist to?
It was Tucker to Bolduc to Sundqvist. It was Neighbors scored the.
Okay,
was that the first Columbus game?
No, it was a home game, I thought.
Well, whatever. Doesn't matter.
So go back and watch last week's show. We talked about it.
All right, everybody, wait a minute. I'm going to go watch an hour-and-a-half episode. Let's go Blues Radio.
No, that was to get people to go back and watch.
Oh, yeah, you all do that. I'm not doing that shit.
But that first goal that Parayko scored 49 seconds into the game, he shoots the puck initially, pass off pad, not trying to score. He's got guys crashing, then he's trying to throw it on net. Big rebound, far side. Fowler takes a quick shot. Rebound right back out to Parayko near side with goalie sliding across, and looked like Kadri tried to block the shot with his reach out with a stick and block it. Might have got a piece of it, and it kind of just flutters goofily. You can't shoot that puck anymore in the corner than he did. Yeah. It hits corner bar and in. Might have been screened too on the play. With
barely
sliding across, maybe
barely goes across the line too.
Comes in.
He just tucked it right there.
No,
you can't put it any more in the corner than he did.
Right. It's the definition of a scramble play, right? The Blues are creating chaos in front of the net, shooting the puck, getting the puck to the net, and generating rebounds. And that's been a huge part. Like we talked about, the only goal that was scored in the Columbus game was a rebound goal. Go back to the Anaheim game, rebound goals. And that's what this was. And perfect snipe. Like the Calgary feed last night, go check that out. They were impressed.
Every time I watch,
unfortunately,
every time I watch a Canadian broadcast of a Blues game, they rave about Parayko and they say like, one of the most underrated defensemen. Maybe he's not your typical number one guy, but he is for the Blues, and he does a great job, great strides, great passer, great shoot, like all the time. Him and Binnington, Canadian broadcasters talk all the time about how good those two are, and it's so funny when you hear, especially Americans, bitching, like Avalanche fans bitching about Binnington, Minnesota fans. And it's just like, we know he's good. And we've even heard people, badmouth Parayko the last. Now, yes, a couple of years ago when he was playing injured, yeah, he deserved all the criticism he got. The past 2 seasons, he's been great, and he is really earning that contract more than earning that contract.
It's funny to me because it just you don't have to look at any stats at all. You just watch him play, and he's an impressive player. Now with the cannon shot that he has when he first came up, we were expecting, oh my gosh, Al McInnes, like shot coming from the point, he's gonna score a lot of goals, and that never really materialized. Even though he's at 9 goals this season, he's doing very well offensively this season. But that the point production aside, he carries the mail with the puck. He's very good with the puck in the offensive zone as far as along the boards, working the puck deep, pinching in, and going to the goal at times. He's very an offensively. He's got a good mind offensively. Even though it might not translate into Cal McCarr like production from the blue line. But he's a very good, and when he has to be, he can be a very good puck handler, stick handler, and offensive presence in the offensive zone, and just if it's a puck distributor or whatever. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a shot on goal a little more from the point to slap shots, which but that's a little wild. But no, I think I don't know if people don't take him for granted or they look at advanced stats too much, where sometimes he comes into the bottom of the heap and because he was on the ice for a goal or two, and it's just like he gets but I don't know, whatever. But I think I hope he's appreciated as much as he should be. Like you said, Jeff, he's not the stereotypical number one defenseman, but he does a very solid job, and he's not making a ton of money. He's making
6.5.
Yeah.
Every Blues defense, you don't have to guess. Every Blues defenseman makes 6.5.
Tyler 6.5.
He's not making.
Ryan
He's not
Suter,
making
6.5.
He's not making 9, 10, 11. He's not making top tier number one quote unquote defender. He's not making a number one defenseman salary. So I maybe some people expect too much from Parayko, and he doesn't quite deliver because they have like top tier hopes for him. But no, I've generally been very happy with his play, aside from when he was hurt a couple years ago.
So the only knock that I really have on Parayko, and I think Bill will probably agree with me here as a goalie, it's not even physicality at this point. Like at this point, I'm like, he plays so well positionally. I don't even give a shit that he's not a physical guy. Sometimes I like to see him sock someone for taking an extra poke at Binnington, sure.
Yeah.
But that's not even a
everybody
worry
though.
for me.
That's everybody.
Yeah, it's not even a worry for me anymore. The thing that bothers me about him sometimes, and it's the only thing really that's consistent, is he does try to block shots right on top of the crease.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many times that I'm just like, dude, you just got to fucking move. Like, all you're doing is screening your goalie here. Like, don't try to block it at that point. At that point, get the fuck out of the way, go for a stick check, do something. Don't stand there and try to block it, because all you're doing is screening the goalie. But that really doesn't happen that often. It was happening a lot more when he was injured, but he does still do it from time to time.
I thought it happened a couple times recently where he was kind of caught in no man's land, top of just outside the crease, and he kind of, the shot comes and he kind of stands there, and I'm like, if you're gonna stand, now correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, don't just stand there. Go down on your knees, block it, lay down, something, take it away. I don't know, but don't just stand there, because I think you're not playing big. You take away the low stuff. I don't know, but drop down and block it. Go to your knees, block it. Do what the defensemen do, go on to one knee and block. I don't know. Just don't stand there.
So go back the last 2 games against Columbus. I thought he cost us goals. Screen in the first game. Just never had an opportunity to see the puck coming through. But in the last game, the Fantilli goal, right, wide open. Like I kind of want to challenge Jeff on positioning. What you said before about positionally, he's been very sound. I think he runs around. Like when he gets anxious, he starts running around, gets out of position, and gets crossed up with his D partner. And I think that's what happened on that Fantilli goal, right? Fantilli was wide open, when Marchenko made the play through, and like the 2 Blues defensemen, Parayko and I think it was Fowler, were stacked right on top of each other instead of covering either side of the crease, and led to the wide open chance for Fantilli. But
I'm watching that right now.
I think that with Parayko, I don't think he will go down to block shots because he wants to be able to escape the zone as quickly as possible. Right.
Yeah.
And when you go down to block shots, you can't do that. You don't have that explosive first stride. But
I'm with you on that goal specifically. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
Right. And that's the thing.
There was a Blues forward. There was a Blues forward who'd stepped back to cover Fantilli, but then Parayko kind of steps into him. Who is that? I'm not sure who that was. Might have been Thomas. But yeah, they both get crossed up, which is why Fantilli gets left alone. And it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing? Let your forward take him if he's already got him.
Yeah. So Parayko's just like he will glitch from time to time and just loot like that momentary, like, oh, I'm gonna take an extra step to the corner. Oh, now the front of the net's wide open. Right. Yeah. Cam Fowler's already there. You don't need to be there. So his game still has room for improvement, but yeah, he's definitely the leader on this Blues defense. Yep. And like who said it? It's, Joe Schmo. Parayko's finally carrying the mail like I've hoped he would for years. That's true. It's a true statement, but he also will still glitch from time to time.
Yeah, and let's be honest here, Bill. I mean, at this point, compared to where we were at 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we were to a certain extent, we are looking for holes in his game.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas 2-3 years ago, it was like, why the fuck is this guy even playing half the time? He looks awful.
How many times did we say, if his back is fucked up, have surgery, take the season off, get better?
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. And so, yeah, for me, it's like, at this point, it's like he's offensively been fucking great for this team. Positionally, for the most part, he's been good. He does get caught glitching, like you said. I agree. In front of the net, sometimes he is way blocking the goalie because he's a big boy too. But like, he gets the puck out of the zone. He breaks up passes. His sticks are in the lane. He has been a little physical, and he will ride guys into the boards if he has to. Like, he's winning puck battles. He's doing so many good things constantly to where it's a lot more noticeable now when he fucks up, because before it was all the time. Well, now it's like once or twice a game. You're like, what the fuck are you doing, Parayko?
At least in the Columbus game when the Blues, when they lost 2-1, the biggest fuck up on defense was not that play. That was the next goal. We had two defensemen behind the goal, leaving Sillinger wide open in front. That was ridiculous. And that wasn't Parayko. That was Falk and Fowler. They both went behind the goal, behind the end red line, and the puck slid out to Sillinger's wide open in front, scores. That was terrible.
That is hockey 101.
Yeah,
both defensemen should never be behind the net.
Right.
Right.
Not unless their offense is saying, I've got the post, which nobody was.
And even if they do, then there's defensemen out high. They're wide open, It's like, just don't chase behind the goal.
Even at that point,
go to the post.
I know I'm beer league, but like, even at that point, I'm still, as a defenseman, if let's say there's a puck battle behind the net with my other defender, I'm telling the forwards, get back there and help them. I'm not fucking moving. Like, I'm blocking this pass lane.
I'll tell you what. I said this to people, and I would do this myself. I'm like, okay, this is not technically how you're supposed to do this. This is against the rules in hockey. Like two defensemen behind the red line, whatever. If you do break, like what Steen did against the Kings in overtime when they're killing the penalty, you don't do what he did. But it worked. If you're gonna do something that you're not supposed to do, you better make sure it fucking works.
Right. But that was the element of surprise, right? Steen knew what he was doing at that moment.
Well, and he said he was going for a line change directly after too. So
yeah. But he knew that, right? And knew that he could give that one super hard effort try to steal the puck and make a play, and it worked out.
It was super dangerous because if he misses and gets caught up ice, that's a 5-on-3.
Well, and it's like even in that play, I don't think he was planning on stealing the puck and wrapping it back in front. I think it was, I'm going to steal the puck and go behind the net and try to hold the puck as long as possible. But then it was like, oh, wait a minute, there's no fucking defender here. I'll just wrap it right back in front.
I just think he went back there trying to disrupt something. So I'm going to take this puck.
Yep.
And
exactly.
There's no one else back here. If I can score, I can score. If not, I'll kill time. Whatever. Fuck it up. Disrupt them.
Yeah.
But
yeah. On that goal against Columbus, right? It was Sillinger who got the goal, but Belleville Blues got the assist.
Belleville DeVoe.
Now you know.
Second period in this game against Calgary, nothing happened. Holloway had a ringer off the post on a one-on-one play. Great shot. Just
my god! Vladar did get a piece of that with
did
the
he?
blocker.
Okay.
Yeah.
That thing was a laser beam.
Oh my god!
Woo!
Bennington made a great save on a 2-on-1 on Kadri.
Gotta love
Bennington. Bennington made like 3 really solid saves on Kadri. Kadri tried to catch him at a couple of inopportune moments, but Bennington was on top of it.
Kadri did get an assist in this game, so he was.
I had the thought in my head right as Bennington was getting announced as one of the starters of the game. I'm like, man, how awesome it would be if he came out with an empty water bottle and threw it in the crowd.
Well, you know what? Did you see the replay where Kadri skated through the top of the crease and hit Bennington? He ran through and he gave him a shot, elbow, whatever, arm shiver, whatever, as he comes through. Because Bennington he came from Bennington's blind side, so he didn't see him coming. He just I mean, between the defenseman and the goalie, and he hit him, and you could tell it was on purpose. He didn't try to get out of the way. He hit him. It's just that's how Kadri is, and of course it's Bennington. And the history there is just amazing.
Yep.
Okay, so this pissed me off. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. Less than a minute to go in the second period. Blues are up 1-0. Kyrou stopped skating. Did you see this? There's a dump. The Blues dump the puck in, and it's like a foot race for the defenseman and Kyrou for the puck. And Kyrou just like stops skating. He glides. Lets the defenseman go in first and totally gives up on the play. And I'm like, why? What? It's a 1-goal game and a game it's a playoff-like game. Why would you give up on that play? You're a forechecker, and it's not like we had, you're the only guy, and there's one defenseman back. It's not like, oh, we don't want to pinch in. We're up by a goal. No, you're the lone forechecker. That's where you're supposed to be. And he just gave up on the play. And
I don't recall this, but it's not surprising.
Sometimes I'm yelling at I'm telling my daughter Zoe, I'm like, look at this. He just stopped skating and he lets the defenseman get position on him, like 20 feet before the corner, and then he kind of glides in behind him and then just peels off. He didn't even care. He could have beat him to the puck. And I'm like, what? Why? So that just pissed me off. I'm like, just maximum effort. Right. And 6:06 of the third period, Kevin Ball, who was stirring stuff up in this game a little bit earlier with neighbors, scores near post. Bennington off his angle a bit. I thought, Bill, what do you think? It was a wrist shot. He saw all the way from the outside the faceoff dot. Near post. I'm thinking he should stop that goal.
He probably should. The one thing to Ball's credit, they called this out in the Calgary feed. He changed the angle on. He got the puck. Took one step, then changed the angle through a perfectly placed wrist shot. Right.
Yeah.
It is so hard to.
But there was no one in the way.
Unless you have already come out to challenge. Right, you're in the process as a goalie. You're in the process of coming out to challenge him, and that is the hardest place to cover. Right above the pad, right below the blocker. And
it was a perfect spot. I would give him that. It was a good spot because that's a tough spot to get. However, with that said,
it's near
post
that
wrist shot
every time it goes in.
Yeah, wrist shot near post. He sees it the whole way, and it's outside the faceoff dot. It's like, oh.
I read this, and Bill, please tell me I'm wrong. I read it as when he changed the angle, I think Bennington started to expect a pass. I don't think he expected a shot. The way that I read him sliding over, he was just a little slow on it, and I think that's a
Right.
save that Binnington normally has.
The changing the angle makes the goalie second guess and gives him that half second to find that perfect spot to place a shot. And it was a perfect shot, right?
You know what, though?
And Ball is a talented defenseman, right? He was part of that trade to with New Jersey that sent Markstrom the other way, right? They got a good asset in that trade, and it was a perfectly placed shot. Yes, as a goalie, you want that back every time, but credit where credit's due.
You know, he does change the angle, but as far as like he winds up for a slap shot, he's going to take it, then pulls it back, and then takes a couple strides in and takes a wrist shot. So that's what you're talking about as far as changing the angle. So yeah, because Binnington comes out and he kind of gets set for that initial shot. He has time to reset, and it's not like it's not like it's a change the angle where you kind of do a little toe drag or a little toe curl or something like that during the process of shooting. He wound up and took a couple strides and then wrist shot, but you know.
But Binnington, I think Binnington reacted to the original wind up like, you know, this is my angle, and came out on that same angle when he made the move to the side. It just in that
I agree.
That
you can tell.
Right.
Yeah.
That hesitation in going from slap shot to wrist shot, right, gave Ball the advantage on the play, and he took advantage of it.
Yeah. No, I agree. You can I'm watching now. You can see him slide out top of the crease, right, when he winds up, and then when he pulls it down and comes in a couple strides and lets it go, he doesn't really move over any.
Right.
Maybe a little bit, but not much. And that's where he got beat. So again, I think that's just I think I don't know. I'm being picky. One goal against. He played a great game, but you know.
Right, but I think it's worth noting that I think that is a save Binnington probably should have had. I know Ball made a nice move, and you know there's a lot going on. And like I said, I feel like Binnington was reading pass once he made that move, but I still think that's one. Yeah, I think he does need to have it. You know, we're quick to praise Binnington. I think we should be quick to also say, yeah, that's one he should have. But
and
other than that, he played very well.
Right. Go back. So that's also, I think, the book that's been developed on Binnington is blocker sides where he can be vulnerable. Go back to that Minnesota game, right? The first period, every fucking shot they took was at his blocker.
Yep.
And so there is a read on him, and Ball got it right.
Yep.
I don't know if he was expecting the pass. I'm looking at it here and I'm like, because he's challenging hard on the shot. I don't know if he's expecting a pass or not. Nobody's open. Maybe it's in the back of his mind, but there's nobody open. And
like you said, I think with him changing the angle, I think Bill's right. I think it just makes him second guess what he's going to do with the puck.
I don't know. Maybe I just thought he was coming in closer to shoot, but either way, a little later in this game, Neighbors had a chance in alone. Got the puck in deep and had it and passes like Craig Janney, right? Backwards in the slot when you're in alone. And it was a bad pass to Buchnevich, who was in his skates and he never got a shot on net. And I'm like, you had a chance on top of the goal, 5 feet outside the crease, and you pass it like almost a blind pass to Buchnevich.
Isn't it more frustrating when it's a shooter too? Like when it's him or Kyrou that does it.
It's like stand it.
Fucking shoot.
It's a tie game in third period.
That has been Buchnevich's MO this entire season, right? Is make the wrong puck decision every fucking time. And I'm worried that it's becoming a pandemic on this team. But yeah, that is a great analogy. The Craig Janney thing. That was the Blackhawks, right? Janney had a breakaway.
And he passed his back. Yeah. What are you doing?
That was 30 fucking years ago.
I will never forget that. I will never forget that. And he was, because he's pass first guy, pass. And I'm like, oh, breakaway. He ain't passing that. Well, the hell it ain't. He's passing that one. Stop passing up golden chances.
Yep.
Now, with that said, if it's a good pass on Buchnevich's tape, it's probably a goal, because
and then we're praising Neighbors.
It was what I'm saying is, it's
a high risk play.
it's a high risk play, and he has to execute it perfectly. Otherwise, it goes back to what I said earlier about doing something you're not supposed to. If you do it, you better execute it, because if you don't do it right, you're going to look stupid. And that's what happened here. He should have shot, and it was a higher risk play to pass. And if you makes the pass, it's beautiful. It's a great goal. But
right,
that was literally one of those where this was exactly what I did.
I know.
Yeah.
Not even a shot.
Right.
Really?
No, that the only decision there is, where do I want to shoot this? Not can I possibly pass this? Right.
It's like
you make the shot. You make the shot. You put it off the pads. Bushnevich is crashing. Good chance he gets the rebound.
It's always it's always
shoot
one
low.
or the other. It's always
go
one
for
or the other.
5-hole, and if you miss it, you got a good chance there's a rebound popping back out.
It's always one or the other, right? Though it's like either you feel like, oh my gosh, you had happy hands, you shot it too quick, you didn't take your time, or you took way too much time, thought too much, and made a stupid pass when you should have shot it. There's most of the time it's either or. I'm yelling at the TV. It's like, oh my god, you had time to shoot it, and you didn't have time. You didn't have to shoot it so quick. You had time to pick your spot, but Foxa scores huge goal on a street hockey like tip. I thought, a hard shot on the ice, and it's all you do is you just put your blade down, you angle it, and let it ramp up the blade and go upper corner on the goalie and hope it goes in.
I mean, that was a Joe Pavelski type tip too.
It was nice.
Absolutely
it was beautiful.
Perfect.
It was beautiful.
And maybe he learned it from Pavelski, right?
Maybe, yeah.
I just thought of that because in street hockey, you're like, we're playing with balls right on the street, and you let that ball just roll right at that blade.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, fantastic goal. Good work by Tucker. Good work by Toropchenko Toropchenko gets the puck semi deep, throws it back out to Tucker. Tucker, quick shots, eyes Foxa. He knew what he was doing, and Foxa with the perfect tip over the glove. So game winning goal. Perfect.
Yeah. The Calgary feed, they were a little down on Vladar because it was so high out in the slot when he made the tip that he had a chance to get it, but it was a double screen, right?
Tough.
Yeah,
it was Foxa created a screen of his own, and then it was it Toropchenko that got in front of the net?
Let's take a look. Toropchenko throws it, and
that was Joseph.
Yeah. Toropchenko was not in front of the net. Joseph was.
Right. Joseph had a great game too, right? His penalty killing was insane. He better be back in the lineup tomorrow night.
No lineup changes, right?
No,
exact same lineup.
Exact same lineup, but I'm going to go out on
2:30 neighbors announcement though.
Yeah, got to worry about that. I want to see Thomas and Bushnevich broken up. I think that they need a break from one another. They are not reading off each other. Bushnevich's passing and turnovers are causing Thomas to be, have to worry too much about the defensive side of the game. And I think he's getting tired. I think he is tired of, having to cover for bad decisions by Bushnevich.
I don't think I'm looking at the replay on that goal. I don't think there was a screen on that goal. I think he saw it. Just a good tip.
Still, I think that's again finding issues with Vladar.
Yeah, I do too.
Such a good
tip. because the angle from behind the shot, he saw it.
Right. And if you're going to have issues, it's got to be with Calgary's defense because you got two Blues in front of the goalie.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you said it was a hard shot, which it was, but it's like that was far enough out too. Calgary could have tried to make a block there. And there was just, I don't know.
There was one guy out. Right.
There's nobody to block it though.
One guy. Tucker beat one guy out at the slot. Right.
Yep.
There's no one. I mean, there was no one to block it except for whoever that is who's 20.
But that's what I'm saying is, a shot out high like that, you want to blame anyone, there should be a forward on that point man.
Oh, there was, but it was right at the point of the shot. So
yeah, it was Blake Coleman.
Yeah. So I mean he tried to block it, but he just couldn't. So yeah, in my opinion, not the most exciting game, except for the third period was pretty darn good.
Are you done
But-
going over the game?
Yeah.
All right, I just
What
want
you
to
wanna
add.
say?
I thought at the end of the game, Blues were fucking phenomenal with some blocks. Some really good moments.
yeah.
Fowler and Foxa especially had two very, very nice blocks late. And then I thought, so first of all, they outblocked. Is that right? They outblocked the
Sure,
Flames.
why not? Sure, why not?
18-13 in this game. And then in the final 5:20 of the game, they had 6 blocks, the Blues did, all from 6 different players, too. And especially want to call out Fowler and Foxa. They had 2 massive blocks late that kept Calgary off the board. So I think Montgomery at the end of the game thought about it being like an all-team effort, gritty game, gritty win. With them 100%.
Tough blocks
Blues
too.
Really went all out.
Tough blocks too. The kind of
win that
they're
game.
going down and sticking the skate out, and it goes off a boot. Yeah, they're not just like standing there, and it hits you. You had to go down and get it to block it.
The follower block was off the inside of the boot.
Yeah.
That's
those
scary.
are not fun.
those are rough.
Oh God.
Yeah, please don't hit the ball of the ankle, please.
Yeah, I've had so many go off like the top of the ankle, and all of a sudden the next day it's like, it's a high ankle sprain. Hooray!
One time we were
Those are
playing
no fun.
at All American. We were playing. We showed up for a hockey game and a playoff game, and they gave us the wrong date. I've gone over this, but we played Team Missouri.
Phil Maroon. It was Phil Maroon's fault.
It was Phil Maroon's fault, fucker. But he told us the wrong day.
We've told this story too many times.
Oh yeah, I know. But so Team Missouri was there practicing for, I don't know what what level they were, but so we scrimmaged them because we were there. They asked if we want to scrimmage. Okay, sure, fine. And I took a slap shot off the front of the ankle. Oh, like the tongue, under the shin guard. Oh fuck! It swelled up like nobody's business.
Yep, that's one of those where you start to take your skate off, and you're like, if I take my skate off, I'm done because I'm not getting my skate back on.
I didn't take it off.
No,
After the game was
I'm
over.
going to leave it on, and I'll be fine.
Yeah, I wasn't fine, but I made it through the game. It was a stupid scrimmage too. It wasn't even a game.
It was a rough ride home, though.
Yeah, well, we went to Subway afterwards, and I was like, oh my! And people like looking at a Subway, like, oh my god, like yeah, it's rough.
You guys got elephantitis of the foot.
Elephantitis of the ankles. Yeah, so I thought the power play was disappointing in this game against the worst penalty kill in the NHL. Only 2 chances, right? But still. I thought the first power play looked good. It just didn't score. Second power play was pathetic. Didn't do anything.
No.
So I think
the fact that we keep fucking rolling Oscar fucking Sundqvist out on the power play on this team is going to be another reason I think we talk about and
Bolduc didn't play in this game either,
when we miss the the playoffs at the end of the year.
And and to see him playing on the power play when Bolduc isn't even dressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it that Bolduc is, is in fighting a little bit lately, but still, come on.
Right. Make him a specialist.
But
they don't do that.
A good way to maybe get out of a little bit of a slump is to set him up on the sideboards and just let him fire one-timers, right? I mean, on the power play. I don't know.
Yep. Put
he's got that shot.
Perunovic and him, Perunovic setting up Bolduc on the second power play unit.
He's got that shot. Let it go. Yeah. I mean, we talked about that earlier in the season. He was after the first so many games, he was productive because he was shooting. So and when Montgomery came over. So Calgary outshot the Blues 20-25. Blues won the faceoff battle 52.3 to 47.7. Blues have won the first 2 games of this series in this season series, the 3-game series against the Flames. They play again Thursday, tomorrow. So if you listen to the podcast tomorrow, it's tonight. And if you listen to it Friday, it was yesterday.
If you listen to it Saturday, it was 2 days
2
ago.
days ago. Right. Exactly. So Thursday, the 16th.
Yeah. If you're listening to it Saturday, we're playing used to be Arizona tonight.
Yeah. Get ready for the Coyotes.
So I think, and so again,
the hockey club.
This winning this game on, like, if they had lost this game, it almost, I mean, obviously it makes Thursday's game a must win, but I think it makes it more of a must win now because you've already, so you'd be 7 points out if you had lost last night. So it's disappointing. So if you win tomorrow, it's 5 points out. If you lost, it's like, you're still 5 points out. But now you can get within 1. So it's almost like you have to finish the job here. You have to beat Calgary twice. You can't just go 1-1.
That's why I'm saying I think you got to beat Utah too.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely got to take care of business this week.
You have to win 3 in a row. You can't. The game last night against Calgary, the game Thursday against Calgary, and the game Saturday against Utah, because these 3 teams that were all like bunched up right there, bang, 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 we're all right together in the standings. Yep. So I mean, you beat Calgary once, you won the first battle, finish it off. Okay, sweep the season series, beat Calgary, and then go into Saturday and win 3 in a row for the first time all season against Utah. A team is right behind you, and you should have confidence. You've won 3 in a row. You're beating teams around you, and then you go into a stretch of games against some tough teams. So you need that, I think. I mean, if you believe in momentum at all, carrying over from game to game, and to get on a roll, this team needs to be on the roll now because the game's coming up.
You mentioned the 2 games coming up against Vegas. Like, I look at that one, I'm like, okay, you get 2 points out of those games.
Oh, sure.
I'm happy, even if they're both overtime losses.
Yeah, the expectations for those games are way different than these. For sure.
Right, and that's why I'm like, that's why you need the wins now.
Yes,
because you get 2 points against Vegas, let's say, and there's Dallas and Vancouver after that. 2 points out of those games, cool. Like, some of those games, I'm cool with that. But right now, it's like you gotta win. You gotta take care of business.
I think, you split against Vegas. You split. You hopefully beat Vancouver, and maybe you don't beat Dallas. Colorado is going to be a tough one, but they're within striking distance, maybe. So I mean, you do want to beat them, and then you go into February. So it's going to be. I think if the Blues can win tomorrow, games get pretty darn exciting again.
Yes,
so
agree.
It's about next up for the Blues, we just talked about that. We don't have to do it again. So anything else you guys want to chatter about? Anything going on in the chat here?
Yeah, eventually we'll do Bill's Save of the Week again, but this fella needs to start giving me notice so I can clip it off for him.
Right. I'll just briefly mention if we did it this week, it was Joel Hofer on Robbie Fabry in the Anaheim game. The breakaway, Fabry stopped him on the first shot. The second save was a thing of beauty. A classic leg up kick save that you don't see much anymore, which I don't think that bodes well for Hofer. He's been getting a little too excited, I think, with his feet lately. But my comment is that when I saw that, I felt like I was back in the 80s watching my old Jim Park "The Puck Stops Here" training videos. Kick out that leg, boys. It was that second save was something else, and that was the only save this week that brought me out of my seat.
I can't remember who it was now, but I was watching a game this past week, and somebody made a 2-pad stack save.
I love those. They're fun to see.
It was. It might have been Darcy Kemper.
You know what, kids?
I meant to grab it and send it to Bill and be like, "Hey, let's break down a 2-pad stack this week," but I totally forgot.
Kids nowadays, they don't. I don't think they appreciate when they see a 2-pad stack. They don't understand, right? Of what that means.
Yep.
No.
My favorite is when we're winning by a lot or losing by a lot on either of my teams, and somebody gets a breakaway. I always start yelling at my goalie, 2-pad stack, 2-pad stack.
Make him get it over you. That's funny.
It is one of the most fun things to do. 2-pad stack into the cartwheel.
2-pad stack in the cartwheel, the windmill glove save. Yeah. Oh my God.
All day.
It's so pretty. Yeah. Goaltender saves nowadays, they're fundamentally more positionally sound,
technical.
Right. They're too technical. Stuff's not as pretty anymore. You don't see goalies flopping and flipping all over the place like they used to. Back in the day, back in my favorite era. Late 80s, early 90s. Good stuff.
Darren Pegg, and Dominic Hasek, though, right? He's the guy that he was the most if there was a goal to, if you compared goaltenders to music, he was jazz, right? He was so improvisational.
Yeah.
Roman Turek was heavy metal for sure.
I'll never. Well, his mask reflected that a little bit.
Yes,
but I'll never. I mean, Chicago had Belfour and Hasek at the same time.
Right.
Hasek
And lost the Stanley Cup final.
And lost the final.
Yep.
Yeah. That's bananas. So
Yeah.
I mean, that was to Montreal.
No, that was to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, right? All right.
Yager's breakout.
That was their first cup, right?
Second.
Pittsburgh's
First one was against Minnesota.
Yeah,
that's right. Yep, that's right. The North Stars. That improbable year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the year that the Blues should have beat them.
They should have.
Yep. And that was the year the Blues beat the Hawks. 93, right? Yeah, the Blues beat the Hawks in the sweep. Man.
Yep. And we were going,
man.
And then
another
the
Craig Janney reference right there, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. Fucking terrible.
I think that'll do it.
That'll do it. I think that'll wrap up episode 16 of season 14 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast. Let's Go Blues Radio. Thank you for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jeff Ponder and Bill Damkirk Price. Until next time, everyone, beat Calgary. Let's go Blues.
Calgary. Let's go Blues.
Roll Tide. Let's go Blues. Check out the Let's Go Blues Minute.
A Mark Goodson television production.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
I found prints! No, fingerprints. I don't think so.
Kmart is more than any store you have known before. Kmart means you get quality